Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven paused time itself for you. 2 hours passed in silence, yet in that silence, heaven was not absent. The stillness that surrounded you was not a void, it was divine suspension, a holy waiting room. The angels stood still, the wind ceased to whisper, and even the pulse of time slowed because the Creator was preparing to deliver a message that could not be rushed. You thought those 2 hours were wasted. You scrolled, you sighed, you wondered why nothing was moving. But heaven was orchestrating every second. There are moments when God delays not because you are forgotten, but because you are being positioned. Those 2 hours were sacred. Heaven was testing who would still wait when the noise stopped, who would still believe when nothing seemed to speak. You, chosen one, are one of those who waited. You did not give up when silence pressed heavy on your heart. You felt unseen, unheard, and yet something in your spirit whispered, "Stay." You didn't know why, but you stayed. And now, the message that was sealed for others is being opened for you. Every second of delay was divine calculation. Heaven knew exactly when your heart would be still enough to listen. Sometimes, God doesn't shout, He waits until your soul quiets, until your fear stops screaming. The silence was heaven's stage being cleared for revelation. You may not realize it yet, but during those 2 hours, angels were in motion. They were rearranging circumstances, pulling you out of danger you couldn't even see. The stillness was strategy, the pause was protection, the delay was design, and now the hour has come for heaven's voice to break the silence. Listen closely now, chosen one. You are not reading this by chance. Heaven waited until this exact moment, this precise breath to reach you. The time is no longer delayed. The message is released. You are being called higher. You have been hidden for a reason, prepared in obscurity, refined in the silence. Every unanswered prayer, every unseen tear was building a weight of glory that is now about to manifest. You were not skipped, you were selected. The silence was not punishment, it was prophecy. God was writing something in the unseen, and those 2 hours were the ink drying on your destiny. What you thought was inactivity was actually incubation. The seed needed silence before the sprouting. Do you understand now why you felt such spiritual tension in that waiting? It was because heaven was drawing near. The closer glory gets, the quieter everything else becomes. You were never abandoned. You were being examined. Heaven needed to prove your posture. Would you keep watching when nothing moved? Would you keep believing when nothing made sense? Chosen one, you passed the test. You waited, and heaven noticed. The Spirit now confirms it. The 2-hour delay was the divine clock striking alignment. Now heaven opens the floodgates. As Jesus himself declared in the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 42, "Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come." Do not let the silence of God make you doubt the presence of God. In every pause, purpose is hidden. In every waiting room, transformation is happening. Heaven delayed because your destiny required the perfect synchronization of time, place, and spirit. You must understand, chosen one, delay is not denial. Heaven often moves in patterns unseen by human perception. The waiting season was heaven's workshop, shaping your endurance and sharpening your discernment. Every unanswered moment was a silent yes being refined in heaven's fire, preparing you for unstoppable manifestation. The angels never stopped working during your silence. They were shifting pathways, aligning hearts, and closing doors that would have led you astray. What looked like inactivity was strategic warfare. Heaven's armies fought battles you didn't even know existed so your purpose could remain untouched by corruption. When heaven waits, miracles gather weight. Delay builds momentum. What is coming toward you now carries double the power it would have if it had come earlier. Every postponed answer returns multiplied. This is the principle of divine recompense. Heaven always pays interest on the faith that waits well. Now the atmosphere shifts. The silence is breaking. The 2 hours are over. This is the moment heaven was holding back until you were ready to receive. You feel it, don't you? That trembling in your chest, that awakening in your soul, it's the confirmation that the waiting season is ending. So, chosen one, before you move forward, do this one act of faith like this message. Share it with another who has been stuck in divine delay, and subscribe to stay under this prophetic flow. Then, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment the number 777 below, symbolizing divine completion and alignment. Heaven waited 2 hours for this moment. Don't let it pass without response. The 2-hour silence passed, but the echo of that waiting lingered in your chest like a holy hum. You kept asking why heaven held back, why the message tarried when your heart was trembling for an answer. Chosen one. It was not neglect. The silence was strategy. Divine delay is never a sign of divine distance, it is the proof of divine precision. God's pauses are perfectly timed, never early, never late. When God delays, He is not ignoring you. He is aligning you. The delay is the divine filter that separates those who chase comfort from those who chase covenant. You have been called to a deeper walk, one that requires patience shaped by fire, not by convenience. The waiting you endured was heaven's way of refining your ears to recognize His voice above all others. You see, impatience is the enemy of revelation. Many demand answers without readiness. Heaven will never deliver a word into a heart still cluttered with noise. The silence you endured was God tuning your frequency to match His. When you stopped speaking, He began arranging. When you stopped rushing, He started revealing. The delay is where faith either matures or dies. For some, delay breeds bitterness. For the chosen, it breeds depth. You have seen others move faster, get what you prayed for, walk through doors that stayed shut for you. But heaven did not forget you. It was preparing something no one else could carry. Your waiting was not wasted time. It was sacred preparation. Remember this: blessings delivered too soon can destroy what they were meant to build. God delays not to punish you, but to strengthen your hands for the weight of what's coming. The delay is the gymnasium of trust, the holy classroom where your endurance is crowned. And though your flesh cried out, your spirit learned something priceless: to trust even when you don't understand. That's the language of heaven. To walk by faith is to keep stepping even when sight is gone. You, chosen one, have learned that, and heaven calls that kind of faith beautiful. There were moments when you questioned if you had misheard, if perhaps God changed His mind. But the truth is this: He was never late. He was waiting for the perfect intersection of timing, obedience, and divine order. Heaven does not rush miracles, it ripens them. The delay was heaven's way of ensuring that when the door opens, you would have the strength to walk through it without fear. Chosen one. Delay exposes what's inside. It brings to light what comfort hides. You discovered your real strength when you were forced to wait. You learned that faith is not just believing for an outcome, it's remaining steadfast when no outcome appears. You became unshakable, and heaven smiled upon that maturity. The ancient words still whisper through eternity, and they find you now, confirming the mystery of this delay, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It will speak at the end, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will not delay. Let that truth settle deep into your spirit. The appointed time cannot be rushed, but it also cannot be missed. You are walking toward a divine appointment already written into eternity. Heaven is ensuring you arrive not 1 minute too soon or too late. Do you understand now why God waited? He needed you to grow into what He was about to release. If He had answered too quickly, you might have stepped into your promise without the maturity to protect it. Every delay was mercy wearing the mask of disappointment. In the delay, you learned how to pray with endurance. You stopped praying for escape and started praying for transformation. You learned how to rest without quitting. That is what separates the chosen from the common. Most people want speed. Heaven values depth, and depth is never born in a hurry. You see, God's delay is the language of love. When He holds you back, He is saying, "You're not ready to lose what I am about to give you. You are His investment." He refuses to release you half prepared. The waiting season is not punishment. It is evidence that heaven sees your future as sacred. And now, as you reflect, something in your heart softens. You no longer resent the delay, you honor it. You realize that every second of waiting was holy choreography. The very moments you thought were wasted were actually weaving your destiny. Heaven did not deny you. It preserved you. So now, when others complain of delay, you will smile with understanding. You will know that silence does not mean absence, and stillness does not mean abandonment. It means heaven is crafting something too beautiful to be rushed. The delay was proof that what's coming is worth the wait. And though the waiting stretched your soul, it also expanded your capacity. You can hold more glory now. You can carry more purpose. The delay prepared you for the weight of divine assignment that lighter souls could never endure. You are stronger because heaven made you wait. The silence has broken. The delay has passed. And now a presence steps into view, the investigator. Not of this world, not of mere flesh and blood, but sent to examine what lies beneath the surface of your obedience. You have felt eyes on you, haven't you? The quiet sense that you are being watched, measured, and tested not by man, but by the unseen. Heaven allows such moments because divine selection must always be proven under scrutiny. Chosen one, the investigator was sent not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Every chosen vessel must be inspected before being anointed. The oil cannot fall on false foundations. You have been observed not in judgment, but in verification. Heaven is confirming that your heart beats in alignment with purpose. What felt like exposure was actually authentication. You noticed how suddenly your old fears returned, how old patterns tried to resurface. That was not weakness. It was inspection. Heaven brought the fragments of your past to the surface so they could be healed once and for all. The investigator's eyes saw beyond your actions, deep into motives, dreams, and wounds. Everything that was hidden in darkness is being summoned to the light. You must understand this when God sends inspection. It is not to humiliate, but to consecrate. The chosen are never promoted without pressure. Every layer of your heart is being peeled back so that truth, pure and untainted, can remain. The investigator is the instrument heaven uses to prove that your obedience is not performance, it is devotion. In these moments of divine audit, your emotions may rebel. You might feel as if you are losing control, as if every part of you is being exposed. That's because you are. Heaven is not interested in comfort, it is interested in authenticity. The mask must fall. The image must die. What remains is the real you, the one God called before time began. And when the investigator looks upon that core, the Spirit whispers approval. You are passing the examination of heaven's courts. Your endurance under testing becomes the evidence of your calling. Every tear, every prayer, every unseen act of faith, heaven records it as proof. Do not fear this exposure. Chosen one. Fear the false peace of those who were never tested. The investigator's arrival is proof that heaven considers you worth the effort. You are not being punished, you are being prepared for greater visibility, for the mantle that cannot rest on unproven shoulders. As this revelation unfolds, remember the wisdom written long ago, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 3. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. You may have noticed certain people entering your life recently, sudden encounters, strange conversations, unexpected criticism. Do not be alarmed. They are part of the investigation. Heaven sometimes hides its inspectors in ordinary faces. They come to draw out your reactions, to test if your faith stands steady when misunderstood. You will feel the intensity of this season, yes, but within that pressure lies proof that God still sees potential in you. The investigator's exposure is your preparation for expansion. You cannot carry what's next with what's old still clinging to your soul. This inspection is mercy in disguise. Remember, inspection always comes before promotion. Heaven never elevates without first examining. The fact that you are under spiritual observation means you are next in line for divine assignment. The pressure proves proximity. Only those close to breakthrough feel the fire so intensely. Chosen one, stand firm. The investigator is not your enemy, but your confirmation. Every accusation is a test, every silence a mirror. You are being purified, not punished. When this phase ends, you will walk with authority that only comes from being proven in the unseen. Now, as you read these words, there is a stirring in your spirit, a knowing that heaven is near, that this message finds you in the middle of your own inspection. Do not run from it. Embrace it. Let heaven finish its work. The investigator will not stay forever. Once the refining is done, the revelation will follow. And when it does, you will realize this truth: you were never being watched to be wounded. You were being weighed to be crowned. Heaven has found in you a heart worthy of trust, a vessel fit for divine use. The inspection ends with affirmation, not condemnation. Before this message closes, perform a prophetic act of agreement. Type "I am ready" in the comments below. 3 words, simple yet powerful. You are declaring to heaven that you accept the inspection, that you will not resist the refining. When you write those words, you are signing your name on heaven's register of readiness. Say it with intention, not out of ritual. I am ready. Ready for truth. Ready for transformation. Ready to be revealed as the one God chose long before the investigator ever appeared. Your testing is your testimony in the making. And soon, the investigator's purpose will be complete and your next chapter will begin. You begin to feel the investigator's gaze dig deeper, piercing through the invisible walls you've built to protect yourself from the world's wounds. Every glance feels like a question you cannot avoid. Every silence like a mirror reflecting the truth you once tried to hide. The eyes that see too much are not condemning, they are revealing. Heaven has assigned this inspection not to shame you, but to set you free from what still binds your spirit. Chosen one. This is the sacred moment when light meets shadow. The things you buried, pain, regret, guilt, fear, are surfacing under divine illumination. You can no longer run from what you have outgrown. The investigator's presence is a holy spotlight, forcing you to acknowledge what you once ignored. This is not cruelty, it is cleansing. Heaven never exposes what it does not intend to heal. You may feel discomfort now because revelation always stirs resistance. The parts of you that were formed in survival are being asked to surrender to truth. You spent years perfecting the art of silence, pretending you were fine when your soul was crying. Heaven has seen every tear that fell in secret, every night when your faith trembled on the edge of surrender. Those hidden moments are now becoming your altar. This is where obedience is proven not in public applause, but in private surrender. The investigator's eyes reflect divine justice, but also divine mercy. Heaven is not merely observing your actions, it is discerning your motives. It sees the love behind your loyalty, the faith behind your fear, the light behind your longing. You are being understood at a level no human could ever comprehend. The voice of the Spirit whispers, "Let it rise. Let every buried emotion surface so that healing can begin. The heart that hides cannot be made whole." The investigator's work is not to accuse but to uncover so that restoration can flow. Heaven has been waiting for this precise moment when your defenses fall, when truth finally breathes. Do not resist the revealing. Every chosen vessel must be transparent before it can be trusted with glory. Secrets may have kept you safe once, but now they keep you stuck. What once protected you now imprisons you. Heaven is not tearing you apart. It is opening you up so that the divine can dwell freely within. You will notice that as the investigator looks, memories will return, moments you thought were forgotten. But they are not revisiting you to haunt you. They are returning to be healed. This is spiritual surgery, not punishment. Heaven exposes wounds only to pour in oil and wine. You are being made whole. And though it feels as if your inner world is collapsing, remember this collapse often precedes construction. Heaven cannot build on pretense. Everything false must fall so that truth can rise. The eyes that see too much belong to the one who also forgives much. There is beauty in being known completely. You no longer need to pretend. The investigation is revealing that you are not broken beyond repair, you are chosen beyond understanding. Heaven is showing you who you really are beneath the scars. The ancient words breathe life into this moment, affirming what is unfolding within you. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 10, "I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve." Those words are not a threat, they are truth wrapped in love. God examines not to destroy, but to discern what is ready to be refined. The reward is not punishment, it is restoration. The inspection of your heart is the gateway to elevation. Heaven is rewarding the hidden faithfulness that others never saw. So let the eyes of heaven look as deep as they must. Let every truth be brought to light, every falsehood dissolved. Transparency is your weapon now. When you allow heaven to see everything, darkness loses all control. The investigator's purpose is nearly fulfilled, and soon the reflection staring back at you will no longer be shadowed, it will shine. This is the transformation only exposure can bring. When all masks fall away, what remains is the pure essence of who you were meant to be from the beginning. Heaven sees you, knows you, loves you, and calls you higher. In this moment, you are not under judgment, you are under refinement. And when refinement ends, revelation begins. You are becoming the testimony heaven intended. The eyes that see too much are not your enemy. They are the eyes of mercy searching for glory hidden within clay. You are not being undone, you are being unveiled. And soon, the investigator will move from examination to exaltation, for heaven's work in you will stand complete. The moment of exposure has arrived. Chosen one. The veil between what was hidden and what must now be healed has torn. You feel it in your bones. The truth has escaped its silence. The air around you feels heavier, almost electric, because revelation always carries weight. You are standing in the sacred intersection between vulnerability and victory. What is being uncovered is not to shame you, but to set you free. Exposure is not destruction, it is deliverance. When heaven pulls back the curtain, it is not to humiliate but to illuminate. Everything you once buried has become fertile soil, and now truth begins to bloom where pain once took root. The light that shines on your brokenness is the same light that will heal it. You are the field where mercy meets memory. The people around you might begin to see the change. They may whisper, question, even misunderstand, but do not let their confusion distract you. The divine process always looks strange to those who have not experienced it. You are being rewritten by grace, line by line, breath by breath. Exposure is the pen that heaven uses to edit your story. And while you stand in this revelation, remember this: when truth emerges, darkness loses its grip. Every false story about you is losing power because heaven has chosen to speak the final word. No accusation can survive the light of divine revelation. The truth is your vindication. The scripture affirms this moment with gentle precision. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you, nor forsake you. Let that verse be the foundation beneath your trembling. The same God who watched over your silence will walk with you through your unveiling. He will not leave you to stand exposed and alone. The exposure that feels unbearable now will soon become the very testimony that heals others. Think of a pearl born inside an oyster. It begins as irritation, something unwanted, hidden beneath layers. But time and pressure transform that discomfort into radiance. You, too, are that pearl. Heaven is using every grain of pain, every layer of struggle, to form a beauty that cannot be faked or stolen. The exposure is simply the moment the shell cracks open for the world to see what heaven has been forming in secret. And like sunlight breaking through fog, this revelation carries both warmth and visibility. The same light that makes you seen will make you shine. Do not shrink back into the shadows now. The world needs the clarity of your transformation. Your testimony is not a confession of shame. It is a declaration of freedom. Still, this process can feel lonely. You may find yourself walking through seasons where few understand your calling. That's why this space, this community of chosen ones exists. Together, we walk through fire, through silence, through revelation. When you engage, when you share this message, you are not just helping a voice, you are helping the movement heaven birthed through it. Think of it like this: a single candle can light another without losing its flame. Each like, each share, each act of generosity becomes a spark that carries light into someone else's darkness. When you support what carries truth, you become part of heaven's strategy to reach hearts still trapped in silence. Your subscription isn't just a click, it's a symbolic act of alignment. It's saying, I choose to remain in the flow of divine revelation. When you share, you scatter seed. When you give, you water that seed. Every gift, every comment, every offering of faith is like oil poured over the message, keeping the fire alive for others still wandering in the night. There are souls who will find healing because you decided to keep this light burning. Your simple act of support becomes the bridge between despair and destiny for someone you may never meet. And when you choose to donate, to sow into this message, you are not giving to a person, you are partnering with purpose. You are saying yes to the expansion of divine truth on earth. Chosen one, you have been exposed to light not only for yourself but for others. You are now a mirror through which heaven reflects hope. Keep shining. Keep sharing. Keep supporting what carries the message of your transformation. The more light you release, the more darkness flees. The exposure was never meant to end in embarrassment, it was always meant to end in empowerment. You are becoming the testimony others will one day quote when they speak of how truth sets free. Stand tall in your revelation, knowing that heaven has not abandoned you, it has anointed you to carry light into the world. Now rise, radiant and unashamed. What was once your hiding place has become your altar. The exposure that once felt unbearable is the birth of your influence. Heaven's light has made you visible. Use that visibility to illuminate others. The message that heaven delayed has now landed in your spirit, right on time. You can feel it, it carries the rhythm of divine timing, the precision of purpose. You once wondered why it came late, but now you realize it wasn't late at all. Heaven never rushes, and it never misses. The delay was heaven's guarantee that you would be ready, positioned, and listening. Chosen one. What felt like silence was actually synchronization. Everything had to align: your heart, your surroundings, even the spiritual atmosphere. If the message had come earlier, it might have collided with confusion, but now you are awake. You hear clearly, because heaven has tuned your spirit to the right frequency. This moment is divine mathematics, every variable accounted for, every second meaningful. There is something sacred about timing. Human impatience says now, but heaven whispers wait. Every miracle in Scripture arrived wrapped in delay. Abraham waited for Isaac. Joseph waited in prison. David waited in caves. Delay is not denial, it is divine choreography. When the message arrives at the perfect second, it ignites transformation instead of reaction. That is what's happening to you right now. The words you are reading were not planned by algorithms or coincidence. They were scheduled in eternity, written on heaven's calendar. You are living proof that divine messages never arrive early or late, they arrive right when your spirit is ready to obey. You may remember how restless you felt before this moment. Your heart was searching for answers, your mind racing through possibilities, but heaven stayed quiet. It was frustrating, even painful. But now, you understand that the quiet wasn't punishment, it was calibration. You were being prepared to receive, not just to hear. Chosen one, you are stepping into a moment that carries prophetic weight. This is not ordinary timing. This is fulfillment unfolding. The same God who waited 2 hours before speaking is now accelerating everything around you. The pace is changing, and the message you receive today will open the next chapter of your divine assignment. Let the truth of this verse seal this revelation in your heart, as the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians. Chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The proper time, those 3 words hold the key to understanding your entire journey. You did not miss your moment, you are in it. Heaven waited for the soil of your heart to be soft enough, for your faith to be strong enough. Now, the message bears fruit. Feel this divine timing has its own sound. It's the sudden peace that quiets anxiety, the holy knowing that whispers, "This is it." You're no longer chasing. You're aligning. The message that once seemed delayed has arrived like morning light after a long night. The same silence that tested you is now the silence before dawn, the stillness right before breakthrough. You will start to see signs of confirmation in the coming days. Small things that once seemed random will suddenly make sense. Words spoken months ago will come back to life. People who left without explanation will reappear, not for distraction, but for completion. Heaven ties loose ends when it's time for new beginnings. Every delay becomes a bridge once the message arrives. You are crossing now from waiting to walking, from questioning to knowing. What was withheld has now been released, and what was heavy now feels holy. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be. Let your heart rest. The message came exactly when it was supposed to. The rhythm of heaven never fails, and you are now moving in step with it. Every missed opportunity, every closed door, every postponed promise, they were all pieces of the puzzle aligning for this unveiling. Chosen one. Heaven's clock is never wrong. The moment you thought you were forgotten was the moment you were being protected. You see now that the waiting didn't break you, it built you. You are stronger, clearer, and ready to carry revelation into reality. Now, as this divine message settles in your spirit, seal your agreement with heaven through a prophetic act. Comment 888 below, not as superstition, but as declaration. This number symbolizes new beginnings, divine order, and the infinite cycle of grace. When you type it, you're saying to heaven, I receive this timing, I align with divine order. Do it as an act of faith. Every comment becomes a signal in the unseen realm, a way of saying, I am ready for what comes next. Heaven takes note of obedience in small things because small acts echo loudly in eternity. You waited through the silence. You endured the delay. And now, the message has arrived. Your response, your yes, your faith, your symbolic 888 is heaven's confirmation that the alignment is complete. The season of waiting has ended. The appointed time has begun. So breathe deeply. Chosen one. You are no longer delayed, you are divinely on time. The message has arrived, and now comes the testing, the heavenly cross-examination. You stand before the invisible courts of eternity, where every thought, motive, and hidden whisper of your heart is weighed. This is not a trial of punishment, but of revelation. Heaven is asking questions, not to catch you, but to confirm you. Every chosen one must stand before the gaze of divine truth and prove that what they carry is genuine. You feel it, don't you, the invisible pressure, the quiet probing of your soul. Heaven is not testing your words, it is testing your willingness to remain pure when no one watches. You are not on trial before men, but before purpose itself. Every season of elevation is preceded by divine interrogation. Heaven must ensure that your character can sustain your calling. The cross-examination is happening in the unseen. It manifests through the interruptions, the delays, the unexpected challenges that push you to your limit. Each situation is a question from God. Will you still trust me here? Will you still obey when it costs you comfort? Will you remain faithful when applause fades and misunderstanding rises? Chosen one. These questions echo through your nights. They come disguised as disappointments, yet they are divine interviews. Heaven is not asking to disqualify you, it is confirming your readiness. When the chosen stand in divine light, every shadow must be named and surrendered. The truth you avoid becomes the truth that delays you, and heaven loves you too much to let you carry shadows into your next assignment. This examination strips away the unnecessary. It exposes motives dressed in good intentions but rooted in pride. It calls out secret ambitions that hide behind acts of service. The process is uncomfortable because purity always costs. But this discomfort is sacred. It proves you are still pliable in the potter's hands. You may not understand why this moment feels so heavy, but weight always precedes release. Heaven's questions are never meant to shame. They are meant to shape. The trial is refining you into someone who cannot be corrupted by power. fame, or fear. When you emerge from this spiritual courtroom, you will carry the authority of one who has been proven in the unseen. The heavens are silent as your heart speaks louder than your lips. Every act of faith, every choice to forgive, every moment of silent obedience is recorded as testimony. Heaven does not listen to excuses, it listens to evidence, and your evidence is faith. You must remember that this is not the first time heaven examined a chosen one. Job stood under similar scrutiny. Joseph was tested in secret prisons. Even Jesus, before stepping into public glory, faced the wilderness of questioning. Each trial was heaven's way of declaring, "This one is ready." The cross-examination is the birthplace of destiny's validation. In the midst of your own testing, let the eternal words guide you like a compass. As was spoken in the sacred writings of the first letter to Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. This verse is your anchor. It reminds you that testing is not evidence of abandonment, it is the language of divine trust. Heaven only tests what it intends to treasure. If you are being pressed this hard, it is because heaven has placed immense value upon what you carry. So do not despise the fire. It is heaven's signature of authenticity. The questions burning in your heart are divine invitations to transformation. Every why you whisper is the Spirit's way of shaping endurance, wisdom, and humility within you. The greatest callings demand the greatest testing. In this sacred court, you do not defend yourself with words, but with posture. The humble heart always wins where arrogance falls. Heaven exalts the tested, not the talented. It crowns those who bow low under scrutiny and rise pure under pressure. The cross-examination may seem endless, but it will conclude with revelation. You will hear heaven's verdict whispered into your spirit, approved, refined, ready. And that whisper will break chains you didn't even know you carried. Chosen one. You are not being interrogated because of failure. You are being inspected because of favor. Heaven only examines vessels it intends to fill. You are being weighed so that when glory descends, it does not crush you, it crowns you. So, let your heart remain still before the Judge of light. Do not run from the process. Allow yourself to be searched, refined, and rebuilt. When the questions cease, the oil will flow. You will rise from this divine examination radiant, resilient, and completely aligned with heaven's will. Every chosen must be proven. And after this proving, no power of darkness will ever question your authenticity again. You are not being measured for judgment, you are being measured for glory. The silence after the trial feels different now. It is not empty, it is charged, alive, humming with unseen activity. You sense the air around you shifting, like the unseen wings of angels brushing through the atmosphere. The investigation has not ended, it has deepened. Whispers begin to echo behind the curtain of the visible world, faint but deliberate. You are being discussed in places where human voices cannot reach. Chosen one, you are standing in the middle of invisible warfare. The whispers you hear are not just imagination, they are conversations in the unseen realm. Heaven speaks your name, and so does hell. Angels and adversaries gather, debating your destiny, weighing your endurance. This is the divine contention that every chosen one must endure, the war over your obedience. At first, these whispers confuse you. They come in the form of sudden memories, intrusive doubts, unexplained weariness. You wake up heavy without reason, and your peace trembles under invisible pressure. But this is not coincidence, it is confrontation. Darkness recognizes your shift and seeks to destabilize it. The more you ascend in purpose, the louder the opposition becomes. The whispers behind the curtain are evidence that you are stepping into significance. Heaven watches how you respond. Will you let fear write your story? Or will you stand still and remember that even whispers must bow to divine command? You have been given authority not by your strength, but by your surrender. The moment you yielded to God's inspection, heaven armed you for unseen battle. You no longer fight for victory, you fight from victory. It is not always a visible war. Sometimes it's fought in silence in your thoughts, your choices, your restraint. Every time you choose peace over panic, heaven advances. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, angels move. You are the battlefield and the banner, the vessel and the weapon. The whispers also come from heaven itself. You may sense sudden impressions in prayer, unexplainable peace after storms, or divine nudges that pull you back from error. These are not coincidences, they are coded instructions from the throne. Heaven is speaking, but softly, because revelation whispered is revelation reserved for the mature. The loud world will not hear it, only the chosen can. In these sacred whispers, you will hear your identity being reaffirmed. Heaven calls you what the world forgot to name you: faithful, favored, refined, and chosen. The adversary may whisper condemnation, but the Spirit whispers conviction, and conviction is the voice of love leading you home. You are not losing your mind. Chosen one. You are tuning into higher frequency. You are learning to discern whispers that shape worlds. When the unseen realm stirs, sensitive hearts like yours tremble. It is a sign that you are spiritually awake. The ancient scriptures capture this mystery perfectly, as we are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Those words are not poetic comfort, they are legal decrees. When heaven assigns guardianship, no whisper of darkness can touch your destiny. The same angels that protected Daniel in the lion's den surround you now. They are invisible, but their presence is tangible. The whispers of darkness will attempt to distort what heaven declares. They will try to convince you that you are unworthy, unseen, unfinished. But the truth stands eternal. Your worth was established before you were wounded. The whispers of fear are counterfeit echoes that lose power when confronted by truth. So when the unseen noise grows louder, do not respond with panic. Respond with remembrance. Remember who sent you, who called you, who covered you. Whisper back words of faith into the void: I am not alone. Heaven hears, and the atmosphere shifts. You are not fighting for attention, you are standing in attention before the commander of heaven's armies. Every whisper of accusation becomes weaker when you choose stillness over striving. The divine watches, recording your responses as proof of maturity. And when the whispers reach their peak, when confusion tries to cloud your sight, something miraculous happens. The whispers begin to turn into clarity. Heaven does not silence the noise by shouting. It silences it by overshadowing it with truth. In time, what once sounded like chaos will reveal itself as confirmation. Chosen one, the whispers are proof that you are near breakthrough. The enemy never fights what isn't threatening. The louder the noise, the closer the unveiling. The unseen realm knows what's about to happen before the visible does. You are moments away from manifestation. Stand firm. The whispers will fade. The angels will remain. The voice of heaven will soon thunder where once only murmurs existed. And when that happens, everything hidden behind the curtain will finally make sense. The whispers have grown into rumors, now distorted echoes carried by human tongues. Lies begin to form in the shadows, twisted fragments of truth woven into weapons. What you are hearing, chosen one, is not merely gossip, it is strategy. The adversary knows that if it cannot touch your anointing, it will try to stain your name. The false report has begun. Do not panic. Every chosen one encounters this moment, the season when truth is misrepresented and loyalty is tested. Heaven allows false reports to surface not to destroy you, but to display your integrity under pressure. This is where your spiritual composure becomes your weapon. The voice of accusation is loud, but it cannot rewrite heaven's verdict. You are being accused not because you failed, but because you succeeded in silence. When you carry light, darkness grows desperate. The investigator's exposure has revealed too much of heaven's glory resting upon you, and now the opposition scrambles to cover what it cannot comprehend. The false report is hell's reaction to heaven's approval. You will hear people question your motives, twist your kindness, and interpret your silence as guilt. Let them. Heaven's justice is not rushed, it is inevitable. You do not need to defend yourself when truth stands guard. The righteous are always misunderstood before they are revealed. Remember that even Jesus endured a false report. The purest light in history was accused by those who feared its brilliance. That pattern repeats in every generation. Those chosen to reveal God's character will always face distortion. Yet no lie survives the flame of divine timing. Truth needs no argument, it only needs endurance. There is pain in being misrepresented. Yes, it feels like betrayal wrapped in misunderstanding, like being seen through shattered glass. But this pain is sacred, it refines. When your reputation falls into human hands, heaven steps in as your advocate. You are learning that vindication is not achieved by shouting louder, it is received by standing still. Let this truth steady your spirit. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Isaiah, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn, declares the Lord. That promise is not poetic exaggeration, it is divine law. The weapon may be formed, but it will fail. Lies may spread, but they will crumble under truth. Heaven will not let the reputation of the faithful rot in falsehood. Every accusation is temporary, every truth is eternal. You may feel the urge to explain yourself, to correct every misunderstanding, but restraint is your greatest testimony. The ones who lied will soon face the weight of silence, for heaven speaks loudest when you do not. Let God be your defender. Let grace be your answer. Chosen one. The false report is not an ending, it is exposure of another kind. It reveals who stands with you because of truth and who stands near you because of convenience. It purifies your circle, clarifies your alliances, and redefines your focus. What was meant to wound will instead refine your discernment. Do not despise this test. The voices that rise against you are the very proof that heaven has elevated you beyond their reach. You are no longer in the realm of approval, you are in the realm of purpose. Greatness attracts scrutiny, destiny invites distortion. The false report will not last long, its echo will fade. And when it does, those who spoke against you will witness the divine reversal. Heaven has a way of turning accusations into anthems. The same mouths that spread lies will one day proclaim your vindication. Your response in silence is your seed of justice. And when that moment comes, the truth will not whisper, it will roar. Heaven will use your restraint as evidence of righteousness. The lies that once threatened to drown you will become stepping stones beneath your feet. Now, as this revelation settles into your heart, take a moment to anchor it with a simple declaration. Type "Truth stands" in the comments below. Just 2 words, but they carry weight. When you write them, you align yourself with heaven's order, declaring that no rumor, no distortion, and no false report will dictate your destiny. Say it as a vow, not a reaction. Truth stands. It stands when others sit in doubt. It stands when your name is spoken in rooms you'll never enter. It stands when time tests every word ever said about you. Heaven sees your endurance and marks it as divine testimony. The false report may echo for a moment, but eternity already knows the truth. And when heaven speaks again, the same voices that doubted you will have no choice but to honor what they once dismissed. The false report has reached its climax, and now heaven moves. What was whispered in darkness is about to be unmasked in light. The time of quiet endurance is ending, and divine justice begins to stir. The investigator, once mysterious, once hidden, stands revealed. The masks fall. The truth unfolds like a sunrise cutting through fog. Every shadow, every lie, every hidden scheme now faces the brilliance of exposure. You sense it. Chosen one, the turning of the tide. Heaven's courtroom has reached its verdict, and the gavel of truth strikes in your favor. The very hands that tried to conceal you have become unwilling witnesses to your vindication. The unmasking of the Watcher is not vengeance, it is divine order restoring balance. Heaven exposes not to humiliate, but to heal. Exposure is sunlight disinfecting corruption. The investigator's unveiling proves that what was hidden was never beyond heaven's awareness. The false Watcher's eyes, once confident and unrepentant, now tremble before the one who truly sees. In your spirit, a quiet strength rises. You no longer need to explain, defend, or retaliate. Heaven is your evidence. The truth that once hid in silence now walks before you as light. You are not merely cleared, you are crowned with credibility forged in fire. The ancient words remind us of this divine reversal, as the prophet Daniel recorded in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 22. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. That is the essence of this moment, heaven revealing what men tried to bury. You, who were once watched, now become the witness. The one who studied you becomes the subject of divine scrutiny. Heaven has turned the mirror around, and yet, chosen one. This unveiling is not a call to pride, it is a summons to stewardship. Light exposes, but it also entrusts. The truth revealed through you must now be used to heal others, not harm them. Your vindication carries a mission to become a voice for those still under false watching, still waiting for light to find them. Now pause for a breath. Feel the weight of relief flow through you. The storm of accusation has passed. The sky of your soul clears. The same God who kept silent during the waiting now speaks loudly through your redemption. This is where your journey meets purpose, and purpose always invites partnership. What heaven does in one heart, it desires to multiply. The light you now carry is not meant to stay contained. It is a torch meant to ignite others still walking through the fog of misunderstanding. When you share this message, you're not just pressing a button, you're passing fire. Think of how a river works. It doesn't hoard its water, it moves, giving life wherever it flows. When you like, share, or subscribe, you are allowing that flow to reach farther shores. Each act becomes a ripple, touching lives beyond your sight. Somewhere, someone drowning in shame will breathe again because you let this truth travel. And if you have been blessed by these words, if they have spoken peace into your hidden battle, consider sowing into what sustains them. Donations here are not transactions, they're seeds of gratitude. When you give, you plant into the same soil that produced your breakthrough. You're saying, Let this light reach another soul like me. Your contribution, no matter the size, becomes a form of worship, an offering that fuels the ongoing work of heaven through words. Just as oil kept the lamps burning in the temple, your support keeps this flame alive in a world desperate for light. The unmasking of the Investigator is more than the fall of one figure. It's a symbol of divine justice at work. And justice, when completed, becomes generosity. The healed become healers. The freed become rescuers. You, chosen one, are now a carrier of that cycle. You have witnessed exposure, but now you will embody restoration. Think of your life as a tapestry. Every dark thread, every painful season, every misunderstanding woven now into a pattern only visible from heaven's view. The exposure wasn't destruction. It was the flipping of the canvas so that beauty could finally be seen. And as that beauty shines, let gratitude move through you. Gratitude that becomes action. Gratitude that gives back, speaks light, and multiplies hope. Heaven's justice is complete when gratitude turns into generosity. You are no longer being investigated, you are being elevated. The light that revealed the truth about you is now your inheritance. Carry it wisely, share it freely, and keep the oil flowing. Like, share, subscribe, and if you feel led, give. Not out of obligation, but out of revelation. Because when truth sets you free, your first instinct should always be to free others. The air around you feels lighter now, almost sacredly quiet. What was once tension has become calm, a peace that doesn't come from the absence of struggle, but from understanding its purpose. The investigation is ended, the exposure complete, and now the awakening begins not of one soul, but of many. For as heaven moved through your story, it stirred others who share the same mark of divine selection. You were never alone in this. Chosen one. You were the signal for a remnant scattered across nations. Somewhere, at this very moment, hearts are stirring awake just as yours did. They feel the same trembling you once felt, that sense that something unseen is calling them higher. It is the collective awakening of heaven's hidden ones, the remnants who were forged in silence and refined in rejection. You are part of that company, the generation marked by fire and obedience. The awakening has begun, and its sound is not a shout, but a heartbeat synchronized across souls. The world cannot comprehend what is happening, because this awakening does not follow its rhythm. It is quiet yet unshakable, like roots spreading beneath the surface before the forest blooms. Heaven is gathering its chosen from every corner, connecting the ones who once thought they were forgotten. You, chosen one, are one thread in this divine tapestry. Your endurance in the dark became the spark that ignited the awakening of others. It starts subtly. Old fears lose their power. The lies that once bound your identity begin to fall off like old garments. You wake with a new kind of clarity, a knowing that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Heaven is realigning destinies, weaving together paths that once seemed random. Every trial, every tear, every lonely night now makes sense as pieces of a greater mission. The awakening remnant is unlike any generation before it. They do not seek fame, they seek fire. They are not drawn by platforms but by presence. They move in quiet authority, carrying compassion as their language and discernment as their weapon. Their purpose is not to dominate, but to illuminate, to reveal the character of God through endurance, humility, and truth. You will begin to recognize them, and they speak with the same peace that covers you now. Their eyes carry the same depth. Their words carry the same weight. You will know them not by what they boast, but by what they bear, glory forged through suffering, wisdom born from waiting. Heaven is forming a symphony of the steadfast, and your voice is one of its notes. Each chosen one contributes a different sound, a different melody of obedience. Together, they form the harmony of divine purpose manifesting in the earth. The remnant does not move for applause, they move for alignment. Their steps create ripples that awaken sleeping souls. And as this awakening spreads, the adversary grows restless. Darkness cannot silence what is born of light. The more the remnant rises, the more confusion tries to distort their unity. But heaven anticipated this. That is why the awakened carry discernment sharper than ever before. They know when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait. There is something profoundly holy about this gathering. It is not seen in crowds or broadcasts, it happens in kitchens, in prayer rooms, in quiet car rides where hearts burn with unseen conviction. The Spirit is weaving a movement that will not fade with trends because it was birthed in timeless truth. You, chosen one, are both participant and proof of this movement. The Scriptures foresaw such moments of collective renewal. As the Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Romans in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 5, so too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace. Those words echo now like a call across centuries, finding their fulfillment in your generation. You are part of that remnant, sustained not by perfection but by grace. Heaven has always preserved a lineage of those who refuse to bow to fear, who remain faithful even when unseen. This awakening is not loud because truth does not need to shout to be heard. It moves in whispers that shake foundations, in prayers that shift nations. Heaven is birthing unity through those who once walked in solitude. What once felt like isolation was really incubation. The hidden are emerging now not to dominate, but to serve as torches in the hands of God. So stand still for a moment, chosen one. Feel the movement around you, the stirring of destiny, the rhythm of heaven breathing through a multitude of faithful hearts. You are no longer just one voice crying in the wilderness. You are part of a chorus of courage. The remnant is awake, and through them, light spreads faster than the speed of fear. And as they rise, the earth will recognize them not by name, but by presence. They carry peace that cannot be shaken, wisdom that cannot be bought, and love that cannot be explained. You, among them, are a carrier of heaven's frequency, a living reminder that grace never forgets its chosen. The remnant has awakened, and heaven begins to speak with clarity. What was once whispered now resounds like thunder within your soul. This is the moment of prophetic reckoning, the time when heaven's delay reveals its design. You understand now why every silence, every detour, every disappointment was necessary. The delay was not punishment, it was positioning. Heaven was aligning you for this precise hour. Chosen one. The words you are hearing now are not simply inspiration, they are instruction. The divine voice is no longer testing your patience. It is activating your purpose. You have been through the valley, through the silence, through the inspection of motives, and now the heavens are open. The voice that once seemed far away speaks clearly within you. It says, move, arise, speak, build. Every chosen one must experience this moment, the sudden shift from waiting to walking, from preparation to proclamation. You can feel the atmosphere around you changing, can't you? Everything that once resisted you is starting to make way for what you carry. Heaven's order has declared it no more delay. The words of Scripture confirm what you feel stirring inside. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Revelation, in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength. Yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. This is that door, chosen one, the one that waited for your readiness. Heaven waited until your strength was small enough for grace to be great enough. The open door was not earned, it was entrusted. What you see unfolding now is not coincidence, it is culmination. Every test has led to this moment. And yet, with revelation comes responsibility. You are being trusted with divine clarity, which means you must handle it with humility. Must. When heaven opens a door, it does not invite arrogance, it requires awareness. You are walking on holy ground now. Every word you speak, every action you take echoes beyond the moment. Prophetic reckoning is not about predicting the future. It is about recognizing alignment. You are not waiting for heaven to move. Heaven is waiting for you to respond. The open door will not force you through it. It waits for your step of obedience. This is why divine timing always pairs with divine courage. Listen closely to your spirit, for it now operates like a compass. The same God who once seemed silent is now whispering specifics, names, ideas, assignments, directions. The noise that once distracted you has been silenced by clarity. You no longer guess, you know. That is the reward of endurance. And this revelation is not just for you. Heaven speaks to the remnant through you. Your obedience creates pathways for others to follow. Your courage awakens dormant dreams in those still doubting. The words that flow from your spirit carry the frequency of heaven's order. That is why this reckoning matters. It multiplies light. You might feel the weight of responsibility, but do not mistake it for burden. Heaven never calls without providing strength. What you are sensing now is empowerment disguised as awe. You will move forward not by striving, but by flowing. The prophetic does not demand, it directs. You are being directed by the one who never fails. This new phase requires discernment more than ambition. You will not need to chase opportunity. Opportunity will recognize alignment. The open door will reveal itself through peace, not pressure. Heaven's timing never competes, it completes. The time of questioning has ended. Now begins the time of knowing. You stand beneath the heavens as they thunder your name, not to elevate you, but to awaken your assignment. What you do next will shift the trajectory of more than just your life. It will affect destinies tied to your obedience. And as you receive this prophetic clarity, seal your agreement with heaven through a prophetic act. Comment 999 below. This number signifies divine culmination and fresh alignment, the closing of the old season and the dawn of a new one. When you write it, you are declaring to heaven, I accept my reckoning. I walk through the open door. Do not underestimate the power of that act. It is not ritual, it is resonance. Every time you type 99999, you echo what heaven has already decreed. No more delay, no more wandering, no more waiting for permission. The door is open. The voice is clear. The season is now. Chosen one, you have heard heaven correctly. What once felt confusing is now confirmed. What once felt closed is now open. Step forward not as one uncertain, but as one appointed. Prophetic reckoning has begun, and you are standing in the fulfillment of what heaven promised long ago. You stand within the open door now, and behind it lies a mystery, the unsealing of things long hidden. This is the moment of the broken seal, when what was locked away in darkness is revealed by light. Heaven is not only speaking to you about your present, it is showing you the thread of history woven through your bloodline, your lineage, your destiny. The stories of generations whisper through your spirit, and for the first time, you hear them clearly. Chosen one, this moment is not just personal, it is generational. The seal that is breaking contains patterns, covenants, and unfinished promises from those who came before you. Some of them dreamed but never saw fulfillment. Some prayed but never lived to witness the answer. Heaven has chosen you as the continuation of what they began. You are the fulfillment of prayers that were planted centuries ago. The broken seal is not about unlocking secrets for curiosity's sake. It is about reclaiming divine inheritance. Every family, every bloodline carries both light and shadow. There are blessings that were spoken and battles that were left unresolved. When heaven breaks the seal, it reveals both so that redemption can flow completely. You are standing in that sacred intersection of mercy and memory. As the revelation unfolds, you may feel waves of emotion, joy mixed with sorrow, awe mixed with trembling. The Spirit is showing you moments you never lived, yet they live in you. You are being called to redeem what was left undone, to rewrite the narrative of your lineage through obedience and grace. The broken seal is not destruction, it is restoration. The Scriptures speak to this mystery of generational promise fulfilled through those who remain faithful. The Word of God declares in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 6, "But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." That verse reveals heaven's pattern. Its promises extend farther than memory can reach. You are part of that continuum, the living proof that God's love never expires. What was sealed by fear or failure is now being opened by faith. You might wonder why this revelation matters, why the past must be revisited when the future calls. But heaven knows that what is unhealed repeats, and what is redeemed transforms. The broken seal gives you access to divine patterns, once hidden keys that explain the struggles you faced, the gifts you carry, the burdens you bear. None of it was random. The battles of your ancestors shaped the blueprint of your breakthrough. In every family line, there are cycles that seek repetition. The same wounds echo through time until someone stands and says, "It ends with me." You, chosen one, are that voice of interruption. Heaven entrusted you with sight not to judge the past, but to heal it. The broken seal is your invitation to close doors that should never have been opened, and to open wells that were unjustly sealed. You are breaking patterns through awareness, prayer, and obedience. The heaviness you sometimes carry is not only yours, it is the residue of unresolved wars in your bloodline. But now, the seal breaks, and healing flows both backward and forward. Your obedience liberates those before you and blesses those who will come after. You are the hinge between generations, the bridge between what was and what will be. Do not fear the revelation of the past. God does not expose wounds to shame you, but to cleanse them. As you see clearly now, forgiveness will flow more easily. You will find yourself releasing names, releasing stories, releasing pain that was never fully spoken. This release is worship. It is your offering to heaven. And as you do, new inheritance begins to unfold, not of wealth or fame, but of peace, wisdom, and authority. When heaven breaks a seal, it does so to transfer what was preserved for the right moment. You are that moment, the insight, the discernment, the compassion that now stirs within you are the treasures released by this divine unsealing. You are not alone in this unveiling. Angels who guarded those sealed promises stand near, rejoicing as they finally fulfill their ancient assignments. The prayers of your ancestors rise again, not as echoes, but as songs of completion. Heaven is harmonizing generations through you. This revelation brings a sacred responsibility to live aware, to live healed, to live intentional. What you do now echoes through bloodlines yet unborn. You are not just living your own story, you are rewriting a family's legacy. The broken seal signifies that the time of forgetting has ended. Memory and mercy now walk together. The chains of the past no longer bind you. They have become instruments of wisdom. You carry within you both the lessons of history and the power to shape eternity. Chosen one, stand firm in this awareness. You are the living testimony that God's promises do not expire with generations. They wait, they watch, and when faith appears, they unfold. You are that faith made flesh, that prayer made visible, that promise finally fulfilled. The seal has been broken, and what was hidden has now been revealed. But revelation always ushers in purification. What follows the unveiling is fire not to consume, but to refine. This is the trial by fire, the sacred purification that distinguishes the chosen from the called. You stand now within the flames of transformation, where everything that is not eternal begins to melt away. It is uncomfortable, yes, but necessary. Heaven refines what it intends to use. Chosen one, the fire does not come to destroy you. It comes to remove what cannot go with you. Every attachment born of fear, every habit rooted in self-preservation, every illusion of control, all of it must be burned away. The fire's purpose is not punishment, it is preparation. You prayed for elevation, but heaven answers such prayers with purification. Before gold can shine, the impurities must surface. The flames touch every part of your being, your thoughts, your desires, your memories. The Spirit turns the heat higher, not out of cruelty, but out of love. You are being reshaped into something unbreakable. Fire has a strange power, it both reveals and transforms. In its light, you see what has been hidden inside you, the strength you didn't know you carried, the faith you didn't realize had grown. This is not an easy season. You may feel isolated again, misunderstood again, stripped of comforts that once gave you stability. But understand this, what the fire consumes, it replaces with clarity. Every false dependency that burns away makes space for divine strength to enter. Heaven does not want a half-healed vessel, it desires one wholly devoted. The fire ensures that no divided loyalties remain. Do you remember how the blacksmith works? He heats the metal until it glows, then hammers it repeatedly, not to destroy but to shape. The hammering brings form and the cooling brings strength. So it is with you. Every impact you feel is forming purpose. Every heat you endure is heaven's assurance that you are being fashioned for lasting impact. There are moments in this process where you may question everything. The fire exposes motives, unmasks illusions, and challenges endurance. Yet in that very questioning, heaven builds deeper faith. For true trust is not born in comfort, it is born in surrender. When you stop asking, "Why am I here?" and begin saying, "Purify me through this," the fire begins to yield glory. The ancient scripture captures the beauty of this refinement, as was written by the prophet Zechariah in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. I will bring that third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, "They are my people," and they will say, "The Lord is my God." These words are not ancient poetry, they are a mirror of your current season. You are being brought through, not left within. Heaven's goal is never your destruction, but your distinction. When you emerge from this fire, you will no longer carry the residue of your old life. You will carry the fragrance of purity, the unmistakable scent of one who has been near divine flame. Fire reveals what water cannot cleanse. It burns away not only sin, but also self-doubt, insecurity, and shame. You will begin to notice that certain things no longer have power over you. Conversations that once triggered pain, memories that once anchored fear. The fire has refined your response. You no longer react, you reflect. You reflect heaven's nature. And when you look back at this fiery season, you will not see loss, you will see liberation. You will understand that everything stripped from you was making room for something greater. Heaven cannot fill what is already full. The refining is heaven's way of emptying your vessel of all that hinders divine fullness. Chosen one, you will not be burned, you will be branded. This fire marks you with identity, not injury. You will come out radiant, untouchable by the things that once defeated you. People will sense something different, an unshakable peace, a quiet authority, a glow that no human explanation can describe. That is what fire does, it reveals the divine within. So do not run from this furnace. Stay within it until heaven says it is finished. The same fire that tests will soon testify. It will proclaim your endurance, display your transformation, and announce to all creation that you have been refined for glory. And when you emerge, you will carry more than survival, you will carry sanctification. You will know that the God who allowed the flames never left you inside them. You will realize that what you thought would consume you actually completed you. This is the sacred paradox of heaven's love. It refines by fire but rewards with light. You, chosen one, are now glowing with the brilliance of endurance, proof that divine fire purifies but never destroys. The fire has done its work. What once clung to you has burned away. And now, as the smoke clears, something luminous begins to emerge: vindication. The season of hidden refining gives birth to public revelation. You are not the same person who entered the flames, as what was purified in private is now being displayed in the open. Heaven's justice moves slowly, but it always arrives. Chosen one. This is the moment when truth speaks louder than rumor, when silence becomes its own defense. Those who questioned your path will see that the fire did not destroy you, it crowned you. Vindication is not heaven shouting on your behalf, it is heaven making your endurance visible. The light around you now is not borrowed, it emanates from within. Vindication comes gently, like morning light spreading across a valley after a long night. It doesn't rush or boast, it simply reveals what was always true. The same people who misunderstood you will now witness the fruit of your faith. Heaven has timed your unveiling so that no man can claim credit for it. You will not need to announce your restoration. Your peace will do the speaking. Think of a seed buried in the ground. It disappears from sight, mistaken for death. Yet all the while it's preparing for emergence. When it finally breaks the surface, no one can deny its transformation. That is what heaven has done with you. What others thought was your ending was simply the moment you were taking root. Your vindication will not be loud, it will be lasting. The evidence of your transformation will stand long after the rumors fade, and through it all, heaven remains your source. It is written for such a time as this. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more eternal weight of glory. That verse holds the essence of your journey. The affliction was temporary. The glory is eternal. You are walking proof that nothing endured in faith is wasted. Every moment of pain, every delay, every false report, it all produced weight, not weakness. Heaven's vindication is not about being seen by others, it's about being confirmed by God. And now, chosen one, as your light begins to spread, know that this moment carries responsibility. Vindication is not the finish line, it is the platform for impact. Others will look to you for hope, for guidance, for proof that God still moves through those who remain faithful. Let your story be a bridge for others still trapped in their wilderness. This is where your voice matters. When you like, share, or comment on messages like this, you are not just responding, you are releasing. You are scattering seeds of light into the digital fields where despair often grows. A single share can reach a soul on the edge of surrender. A simple like can tell the algorithm of heaven that light still has an audience. When you subscribe, you are not joining a channel, you are aligning with a calling. You become part of a movement of chosen ones awakening together. And when you give, when you donate from a sincere heart, you're not buying blessing, you're investing in light. Your gift becomes oil for the lamp that keeps these words burning across the world. Think of it like a lighthouse. Someone must keep the flame alive so ships lost at sea can find their way home. Your support is that flame. Every donation, every comment, every act of engagement is a match struck against the night. You're saying, I believe this light must go farther. And it will, because light shared multiplies. This is more than media, it is ministry. Every moment you help keep this light visible. Heaven counts it as partnership. You may never meet the people it touches, but eternity will remember that you helped them see again. That is what true vindication looks like, not being proven right, but being used rightly. Chosen one. You are no longer hidden. The same God who refined you in secret is now displaying you as evidence of his justice. You are the living testimony that patience prevails, that integrity speaks louder than accusation, that glory waits for the humble. So stand tall in your peace and let gratitude rise within you. Comment your thoughts, share this message, and if it has spoken to your spirit, keep the flame alive by supporting its reach. Your involvement is not obligation, it's continuation. You are ensuring that the same words that found you will find others still wandering in the dark. Vindication is not just your story, it's your stewardship. Carry it with grace, share it with purpose, and let every act of generosity echo heaven's justice through your hands. The atmosphere feels heavier again, but this weight is not sorrow. It is the gravity of divine justice. The investigator, the one who once moved through your story like a shadow, now stands in the full exposure of truth. Heaven's light reveals everything. What was done in secret is now displayed before the throne of the Almighty. You watch, not with pride or vengeance, but with quiet awe. Justice has finally arrived. Chosen one. This is the investigator's judgment. The one who once measured you now faces divine measurement. The watcher who studied your faith without understanding your fire now stands before the very flame that refined you. It is a moment of reversal, a turning of tables orchestrated by heaven itself. You need not lift a hand, God's justice needs no assistance. You remember the piercing questions, the scrutiny, the way they probed every weakness. Yet now, every accusation dissolves in the light of truth. Heaven reveals the motive behind every observation, the deceit hidden within every question. The investigator's authority has expired, for no power given in darkness can survive exposure to divine light. This is the sacred paradox of justice. It does not humiliate, it humbles. The judgment you witness is not the destruction of a soul, but the unveiling of deception. Heaven does not condemn without purpose. It corrects to redeem. The same eyes that once glared at you with suspicion now lower in realization of truth. Justice and mercy are never separate in the hands of God. They move together, one purifying, the other restoring. You stand still, and the Spirit whispers, "Do not rejoice in their fall. Rejoice in the restoration of order." The temptation to celebrate vindication as revenge fades, replaced by compassion. You see now that even those who opposed you were instruments in your formation. The investigator was not your enemy, but your mirror, but your stone. Their probing revealed what was unhealed within you. Their watching forced you to walk in integrity when no one else would believe in your heart. This is the mystery of divine justice. It redeems both the tested and the tester. The one who examined you becomes the example through which heaven teaches discernment. The one who doubted you becomes the vessel through which truth is displayed. Heaven wastes nothing, not pain, not conflict, not exposure. Every part of the story finds redemption. As you watch the unfolding of this judgment, you are reminded of the eternal principle recorded long ago. The voice of God thundered in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart. Those words ring through the atmosphere like a divine verdict. The investigator believed they were right, but heaven weighs motives, not methods. What men justify, God judges. What men overlook, heaven examines. The scale of the divine is never unfair. It balances every hidden intention against the weight of truth. You begin to understand that judgment in heaven's realm is not about punishment, it is about alignment. Everything must return to its proper order. The investigator's exposure is simply the restoration of balance. Their time in authority has ended because authority without humility collapses under truth. Chosen one, your role in this moment is not to condemn but to witness. You are a living testament of what happens when faith endures scrutiny and love withstands betrayal. Your composure during testing is now the evidence heaven uses to justify your elevation. The same fire that purified you now reveals what was false around you. In the silence that follows the judgment, you feel heaven's peace settle like rain. Justice has spoken and mercy has followed. There is no bitterness left in you, only gratitude. You realize now that every challenge was necessary, every exposure meaningful. The investigator's fall has taught you something vital, that power misused eventually returns to its source, and truth never loses its place. This moment also teaches you compassion. For one day, someone may watch your judgment too, not of punishment, but of accountability. Every chosen one eventually becomes the investigator of another. The key is to remain humble, to remember that divine sight must always be paired with divine mercy. Heaven's justice is perfect not because it punishes, but because it purifies. The investigator's unmasking is a warning written in light. No secret can survive the gaze of eternity. Yet even now, grace lingers, extending an invitation for redemption. For the same fire that refined you is capable of transforming them. As the scene fades, peace returns fully to your spirit. You are no longer the observed, you are the witness of restoration. The heavens close this chapter with balance restored, truth triumphant, and mercy unbroken. You walk away not with triumph over another, but with the serenity of one who has seen justice done the heavens' way. The investigation has ended, the judgment complete. All accounts have been settled, all motives weighed. Heaven has ruled and its verdict is always righteous. The air is still, the dust of judgment has settled, and from its quiet aftermath rises something radiant. The journey that began in silence has reached its divine crescendo. The same God who waited 2 hours to speak has now written your destiny in gold. You, chosen one, have been crowned after the waiting. Every tear, every test, every unseen night has led to this sacred coronation. You stand in the light, not as a survivor, but as a vessel of glory. The waiting, the warfare, the whispering, the fire, all of it has become one story: redemption. You are no longer who you were. The silence birthed your strength, the investigation refined your integrity, and the fire shaped your authority. You have become what heaven saw from the beginning, a reflection of divine endurance. This crowning is not made of gold or jewels, it is made of weight. The invisible glory that rests upon those who did not quit. You carry something eternal now, a presence that cannot be explained but can always be felt. Heaven has placed upon your spirit the insignia of completion. The story is not over, but it has turned. You have graduated from testing into testimony. The crown you wear is not ornamental, it is operational. It signifies responsibility, not superiority. Heaven crowns those who are willing to serve, not those who seek status. Your authority now comes from empathy, your wisdom, from wounds healed by grace. You do not rule from a throne, you reign through compassion. The real kings and queens of heaven's kingdom are those who have learned to kneel before rising. And now, as you stand beneath the open heavens, your life itself becomes prophecy. The world will look at you and see not perfection, but perseverance. They will sense that you carry peace too heavy to be human, light too steady to be borrowed. That is the mark of the crowned glory that glows quietly, not for attention but for alignment. This final revelation settles deep within you. Everything you lost was never truly lost. It was transformed. The years you thought were wasted became the training ground of wisdom. The relationships that broke became the soil of discernment. The silence that hurt became the womb of revelation. Heaven wastes nothing. The crown is made from the fragments of what you survived. The scripture bears witness to this divine truth. It was proclaimed in the second letter of Paul to Timothy, in the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. These words, ancient yet alive, speak directly to your season. You have longed for his appearing not in grandeur, but in guidance. You have sought his presence more than his promise. That longing has not gone unnoticed. Heaven crowns not the loud, but the loyal, not the powerful, but the patient. As this truth unfolds, your soul begins to exhale. For the first time, you feel complete, not because everything is perfect, but because everything now makes sense. The divine pattern has revealed itself. What once felt fragmented now feels whole. The path that seemed cruel was, in fact, kind. Every detour was protection, every delay was preparation, every silence was strategy. And look around you now. Chosen one. The light that surrounds you is not just for display, it's a mantle. It calls others forward. You are the living message heaven has written for those still in darkness. You no longer need to strive to prove your calling. You simply need to be. Light does not argue, it reveals. Your crown is invisible to the world, but radiant in the spirit. Angels recognize it. Darkness fears it. Heaven rejoices in it. You carry the authority of one who has been tested, the humility of one who has been refined, and the peace of one who has been found faithful. You are the convergence of mercy and majesty. Now the waiting has ended. The delay has been justified. The investigator exposed. The whispers silenced. The fire endured, all of it leads here to stillness crowned with glory. You are not at the end of your story. You are at the beginning of a new assignment, one birthed through pain but carried by purpose. As heaven looks upon you now, the voice that once waited speaks again, not as warning, but as affirmation. Well done, faithful one. You are crowned, not for surviving, but for surrendering. You wear the proof that obedience outlasts opposition. You walk in the rhythm of divine timing, the harmony of heaven's plan. The journey has come full circle, and you refined, restored. Radiant stand as living evidence that delay does not mean denial, and that every chosen one is crowned in time. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this divine journey. But endings in heaven are only beginnings in disguise. What began with silence has finished with glory. You have walked through stillness, exposure, testing, fire, and revelation. And now you stand as living proof that divine timing never fails. You have seen the pattern. Every delay was mercy. Every trial was training. Every whisper was a message from eternity. Now the voice that guided you through each section speaks again, not as correction, but as commissioning. You are not leaving this message the same way you entered it. Something within you has awakened. Carry this awakening with gentleness. Let your life whisper what your words cannot. Remember, the true proof of being chosen is not how loudly you shine, but how deeply you love. The light within you is not meant to blind others. It is meant to guide them home. And as you step into the world renewed, remember that movements begin with moments like this. Moments when one heart recognizes its divine reflection in another. When you share what has touched you, you are planting seeds of light in soil you may never see. A simple like, a thoughtful comment, a humble share. These are not digital gestures, they are prophetic acts. They carry the message further than your voice alone ever could. Think of this message as a flame. Every time you engage, you hand that flame to another soul walking through darkness. Each click, each share, each word of encouragement adds oil to the lamp. You are not promoting a message. You are preserving a mission, the mission of awakening the chosen, the weary, the forgotten. And if these words have moved you, if something in them felt like coming home, then stay connected. Subscribe, not for routine, but for renewal. Every new word released carries the same anointing that found you here today. When you return to light before you go. Take one quiet moment to comment below. Write what you feel, not what you think should be said. Your words are part of the final chapter, each comment a testimony that heaven's message reached its mark. The story does not end here. Beloved chosen one, it continues through you. The silence that began this journey has become a symphony, and your voice, your heart, your faith are now part of its sound.